Actually, I should whisper this. I know I'm on air. I am amazed at the lack of fallout from that.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It's Nanodosing. It is Tuesday. It's April 21st, and the NBA playoffs are here. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, boosts every game day the whole postseason. When the lights get brightest, the best players in the world show you exactly who they are. Playoff stars turn it up round by round, and DraftKings turns it up too. The profit boost available every single game day, from the first round all the way to the finals. Bet player props. Bet live. From the opening tip to the final possession, every bucket, every dime, every clutch takeover matters. Only DraftKings Sportsbook keeps boosting you all the way through. New Sportsbook customers bet just $5. If your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code MACRO so you're ready for the moment. That's code MACRO. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet hits. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. All right, welcome back to Tuesday's Nanodosing. It is April 21st, and Big T, we got a Mares bet to make.
Big series this
Rivalry
week.
Big series. Bravos and the Nats this week.
First and second place, right?
I believe so. I think the Nats are tied for second in the division.
Yes, that is correct.
5 games back, but I was just saying before we started the tape that the Nats, not a bad squad. And then Big T was like, well, you're
They're 10 and 12. They're fine.
10 and 12. Big T, don't look at the stats.
Okay.
Don't look. No, stop looking at the stats.
You're just gonna name some players. That,
No. I'm not naming any players.
Okay.
About the teams, big picture, because so far, even though we are 10 and 12, I'd say we've gotten off to a much better start than I anticipated.
A strong 10 and 12.
A strong 10 and 12. There are 3 teams in Major League Baseball that have over 120 runs scored.
Okay. I'm going to guess.
Who are they?
I'm going to guess it's the Dodgers, Braves, and Nats.
There are 4 teams. That have
Dodgers, Braves, Nats, and Reds.
Wrong. It would be the Dodgers. It would be the Washington Nationals. It would be the Houston Astros, surprisingly. Wait, it might just be the 3 teams. And the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
And the Atlanta Braves. So the Atlanta Braves lead the league. They have 122 runs scored. The Astros, Nats, and Dodgers all have 121 runs scored.
How's the weather down there?
So, well, I'm just saying, our pitching stinks. Bad pitching. But the bats look a lot better than I thought they'd be. So I'm excited. So far, the rebuild looks promising. Now, if we scored 121 runs and we're below 500, and that makes you ask just how bad is the pitching. We've given up 134 runs, which is second in baseball behind the Astros that have actually given up 140 runs. But
the run differentials in the NL East, the Braves are plus 57. That is number 1 in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
In second place are the Marlins at -1.
Mm-hmm.
In third place are the Nats at -13. And then the Mets are -25, and the Philadelphia Phillies have allowed 38 more runs than they have scored.
Yeah. Now, you want to see a crazy division, look at the NL Central, because the 2 teams at the top of the division, the Reds and the Cardinals right now, they have run differentials of -8, both of them. And then every other team in the division has a positive run differential. But
every team's good.
Every team's good, yeah. It's I think every team is a game and a half apart.
The Cardinals will fall off. The Reds probably will, but
a
lot of good teams in that. A lot of good baseball.
A lot of good baseball being played. I think if you're doing a rebuild, it's way more encouraging to see the bats looking really good, right? And then the pitching just stinks.
Yeah, I mean, you would prefer to have both or either, but yeah.
I think
there's a lot of analytics people will tell you there's no such thing as a pitching prospect. So I think they would probably agree with you that you would rather your bats. The thinking is you should never be reliant on pitching.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it's very volatile, especially with injuries now.
Agreed. And you can. I don't know if it's easier to address, but I think in my dumb brain, it's easier to get average at pitching. Right? You might not put together like a great pitching staff, but I feel like it's easier to become an average to slightly above average pitching team than it is to become an above average hitting team.
Probably.
So as far as I'm going to give the rebuild, what are we, 22 games into the 2026 season?
That's correct.
I'm going to give the rebuild so far for the Nationals an A-.
Wow. You don't even need to see 500.
Solid A-. It's a complete rebuild, and it's looking we're ahead of schedule right now.
All right, yeah, but big series this week, 4-gamer.
Massive. What do you think? 2-2?
I would love to get 3. We're the only team in baseball that hasn't lost a series, so 2 would be sales pitching in this series. Like we should win 3 of these games, I think.
Probably. So we got a lot to talk about today. A lot to get into. How's your weekend?
Average.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
On the sheet that you sent over this morning, there's just a link to a post from the New York Post, and it just says Big T vindicated. And it's
yes, go watch that.
I did. It's a video of a tiger leaping into the crowd after the circus barrier collapses.
Mm-hmm. And what happens?
And so Big T, this looks terrifying.
Of course, but what does the tiger do?
The tiger runs away.
He just hangs out. He just walks around.
Yeah.
Doesn't try to eat anybody. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, you would much rather be face to face with a tiger than a hippo. Hippo, that happens, you're dead. So someone.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have gotten out, but someone's dead.
Now, what the fuck is wrong with these people that aren't getting up and leaving?
I don't know. I think they were just in such shock. I wish Arian was here.
Now, this does vindicate me for saying that I'd rather get into the ring, like a boxing ring with a tiger, than Mike Tyson.
I think that's a little different.
The tiger might get distracted.
I guess it is kind of the same thinking, so.
I also don't understand why you have a collapsible barrier.
Yeah. I mean, this has to be in, like, China or somewhere, right?
You would think so. The tiger's just like, peace, I'm out.
I'm looking up where it is.
I think tigers, pound for pound, the coolest and also most terrifying animal in the world.
Coolest?
Yeah, I think they're so cool, man. Tigers have great...
They're very majestic.
Yeah, they've got drip.
Are they cool?
Yes.
Are they the coolest?
Name a cooler animal.
Stingray?
Not
cool.
Stingray is cooler than a tiger?
I'm thinking out loud. I've never given this much thought. Let me think.
Clearly, you haven't.
You know what's cool? And it's not gonna, it's not terrifying or anything. The chameleon is cool.
That's true. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I mean, that's sick. I don't understand how that works. I don't know if at almost 29 years old I'm supposed to know how that works, but I don't. What other animals are cool? A lion is cooler than a tiger.
Disagree.
Explain.
Disagree. So
your brain is getting stripe mogged right now.
I am.
You see the stripes and you're
the
like,
stripes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but the stripes there's a reason why the stripes exist. It's because they're fucking awesome. What, am I supposed to ignore the stripes with a tiger?
No, you can take it into consideration. By the way, this was in Russia, which checks out.
Yeah, that does absolutely check out. Yeah, the stripes make a difference, 100%. Does the lion's mane make a difference? Yes, that is a factor.
Yeah.
Are you talking about a female lion or are you talking about a male lion?
In my mind, I was envisioning a male.
Okay, male lion, somewhat cool, but they always got a lot of scars on their face. Have you ever seen like
right, because they're out there fucking people up.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking two different things though.
You just named something
cool.
that's super cool.
No.
If there was a dude walking around and he was cock of the walk, just big time, and he had scars all over him, you would say those are cool.
Not necessarily. I'd say that person's scary. That individual is scary. I would say that the tiger is cooler, like the sleek tiger, the stripes, how it walks, like in silence, the size of a tiger.
Lions are roughly the same size.
I think tigers are bigger. Yeah, I think. A grown-ass Bengal tiger will fuck you up.
Well, no one's disputing that. I'm
also not disputing your chameleon. The chameleon is
cool.
It's a very cool animal, yeah. But if we're talking like which amongst the jungle cats are the coolest. It's tiger, and I personally don't think it's close.
So Bengal tigers are typically 400 to 550 pounds and 9 to 10 feet long.
Okay.
Definitely scary.
Mm-hmm.
Male lion size. 330 to 550. And that gives me and about 10 feet long. So pretty similar.
I'll take a tiger any day.
Is there a YouTube video of a tiger and lion fighting?
I've looked that up before. There's a lot of like, what if this happened?
Yeah.
Where people just kind of make up how the fight goes. Like, I saw one fight, I think, where the tiger was winning, but then it got like dust in its eye, and then the lion jumped on top of it and killed it.
This looks real.
It's boxing, just hitting each other with 2 pieces, 3 pieces.
Yeah, it's not that. It's a lot of slap fighting.
Yeah, they're not really trying to kill.
Because they respect each other.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, I'm team tiger, and there's zero question about that. I won't apologize for it either. We got some more stuff to talk about over the weekend. Can you enlighten me onto the RFK Jr. raccoon penis story?
Yeah, I hate when stuff happens on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And like then, because now we've got 5 days till our next show comes out, and it's like, this is old news at this point.
But we should talk about it.
I mean, we don't have a choice. He cut the penis off a raccoon and journaled about it.
Right.
That's a story made for a Tuesday macrodosing.
It's in his book, RFK Jr., The Fall and Rise.
A book about him, not his book.
Yeah, a book about him. He says, I was standing in front of my parked car on I-684 cutting the penis out of a road-killed raccoon, thinking about how weird some of my family members have turned out to be.
Which is such an incredible sentence.
That's an amazing, amazing piece of writing. My kids waited patiently in the car, he said. Later telling People magazine he collected the raccoon's genitals so he could study them later. What did he find out from studying them?
By the way, there's something hidden in this story that could be its own headline. His daughter, Kik Kennedy, recalled in a 2012 interview with Town and Country magazine her father's fascination with animal viscera once put a smelly damper on a childhood family vacation to Hyannisport, Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. Upon learning a whale carcass had washed ashore on nearby Squaw Island, the elder Kennedy made a beeline for the beach and proceeded to decapitate the animal with a chainsaw.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's that story.
That's in the 8th paragraph.
There's also the story about when he planted the dead bear in Central Park.
Yeah.
This guy has a fascination with dead animals. So I need to know, number one, why did he want the raccoon's penis? Like, what was it about that part of the raccoon that he wanted to study? Number two, what did he learn from the raccoon's penis? And these are the questions that have not been answered so far.
Yeah, where are the findings?
There's only one man that can answer that.
I would like RFK Jr. RFK Jr., I know that you're active on X.com, the Everything app. It's all happening on X. We are the media. Elon's given us that duty. I was about to say right, but it's more of a duty. It's a calling on X.com. I pose to you, I would like to know what you learned from the raccoon's penis when you studied it later. Was it fuzzy? How many holes did it have?
And he's doing
was it telescoping?
He's doing himself a disservice by not addressing this because we are only left to speculate what he did.
Right. So every day he remains silent on what he found out about the raccoon's penis. We're probably having thousands and thousands of people that go out there harvesting their own raccoon penises.
You think?
Yeah. He has just created 1,000 RFK Juniors by not explaining what he found out. Like, it does. The fact that it does not address what he found out when he studied it later tells me that there's something that they're hiding from us. Yeah.
TMZ's new Washington bureau caught him and asked him about it, and he just laughed. He didn't answer. They asked him what he did with it, and he just said, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
So we're only left to guess.
He doesn't know what to say to that. Yeah. The Washington, D.C. TMZ bureau they've gotten off to a pretty hot start. They just basically ask questions that everybody would like to ask to the congresspeople, and the congresspeople are just woefully unprepared to
How did
to
this
answer any of
take
them.
so long?
I don't know. It's just like all you got to do is send like one dude with an Australian accent to ask all these questions, and they have no idea how to respond to them. Like, Lindsey Graham, tell me about your bubble wand trip to Disney World. And I'm not talking about that. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know what took them so long. How long's TMZ been around? Since 90s?
I think so. Yeah. What was were they originally like a magazine, like one of the tabloids that you get at checkout?
That sounds plausible. I do not know.
It says it was created on November 8th, 2005.
Wow.
And it was always it was a celebrity news website that quickly gained prominence with major exclusives like Mel Gibson's 2006 DUI arrest.
They had Kobe first, too.
Yeah, they had, I think, Michael Jackson first, too.
Do you know what TMZ stands for? I just learned it.
No.
TMZ stands for 30-mile zone, a term referring to the historic studio zone radius in Los Angeles.
Oh, shit.
So it was at first a website in 2005, and then it became a TV show, TMZ on TV, in 2007. So almost 20 years.
By the way, I know it felt obvious from the beginning. I think it's very apparent now that Nancy Guthrie has passed away. But we just gave up on that? Nobody's looking into that anymore?
Kash is drunk.
But, like, the police there should be...
I know. It's so sad.
And maybe they are, and it's just nobody cares anymore. But
I also think if there's no updates, like, there's no updates to say, you know?
Yeah. Well, did you see last week Savannah Guthrie was interviewing Anne Hathaway, I think, on the Today Show, and then they came back from commercial, and she was gone, and Hoda replaced her. So there was speculation as to what if there was something new or.
So they found a new ransom note too, right?
A week or two ago, yeah.
Yeah, TMZ got sent another one.
So where are we at right now? What is the status?
Nothing.
Just absolutely no update.
I think they get ransom notes, but I don't know if you can completely confirm that that's from a real source.
Right. It could be.
Or we can, at least.
It could be like a psycho or a weirdo that wants to get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
That sends their own ransom note.
Yeah. But it's not like, I mean, also they're not going to tell the general public before there's something.
Yeah.
Concrete. Like they're not going to, it's the same thing with the Idaho 4 where everyone was like, how have they not found anything? And then all of a sudden they pop out with Brian Koberg and they're like, oh yeah, we busted him like 3 days ago and
yeah,
whatever. So I'm sure that hopefully they have something and they're just not telling the general public. But I mean, it doesn't seem to have been that there's any leads or anything. They still haven't found that person that was in the mask from the Ring camera.
That's crazy too.
Yeah. Having the Ring camera footage and still not knowing who it is really scary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I might have drastically overestimated the capabilities of the surveillance state.
Yeah.
I figured that something like this, and I don't know anything about the neighborhood that she lives in, but I figured doing something like this would be impossible to get away with, given not only like the Ring camera that was at that house, but like neighbors' Ring cameras, cameras when you go through like toll booths, cameras on convenience stores, just all that stuff, like the ability to track people's phones wherever they go. I would think that if you just like gathered all that data, you could find cars that were in the area.
Rare surveillance state L.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, usually now they're catching them pretty quick. This is a rare L from the surveillance state.
I did also read the article about Kash.
Oh,
about
my
Kash's.
God.
Kash's. He likes to have a cocktail or two.
Bring your checkbook. I'm suing your ass.
Yeah, so he's kind of like changed his tone a little bit from let's go, we're gonna do the lawsuit thing, and now that's kind of changed to him being like, the fact that they're writing this about me tells me I'm winning, that's like step 2. I think maybe after he talked to some lawyers who were like, hey dude, they're gonna get discovery on you, and then that means they have access to like every text that you've sent.
That's the last thing Kash Patel needs.
And you do not want that, Kash, I promise you.
That is the last thing Kash Patel needs.
There's been a development on that in the last 2 hours. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
FBI Director Kash Patel is suing The Atlantic for $250 million.
Oh, shit, really?
Over its story on his alleged drinking.
Okay, where's this news?
CBS. I mean, it's everywhere, but that's where.
I'm going to read about that.
FBI Director Kash Patel filed a defamation lawsuit against The Atlantic magazine on Monday, saying a recent story about his alleged frequent drinking and absences included, quote, false and obviously fabricated claims.
They had 9 sources, so if not, they got 9 people to lie about the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they did that, then like respect. That would be a great way to take down the news.
But yeah, I guess.
Like if you hated the Atlantic, you get a group of people together to like be sources for them for an article, and just lie to them. And then if they run with that story, then it's like you're fake news for trusting the lies.
That would be sick.
That I guarantee that they've tried, not specifically like this administration, but like people have tried doing that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so he's suing them for $250 million. So again, not a lawyer. Always need to say that. $250 million is a lot of money. Where did they come up with that number?
I think if you're claiming damage to your reputation and whatever, you can just kind of name it, whatever number you want.
But he's got a job with the FBI, and the salary is public, right?
Yes. Do you want me to see how much he makes?
Yeah, I would guess. What would you think the director of the FBI makes?
I mean, the president only makes $300,000 or $400,000. I'm gonna say the director of the FBI makes $280,000.
I think it. I'm gonna go 3. But also, he had his podcast thing going before that.
We're just talking state income.
Yeah, we're talking his income right now,
And
like
his successful girlfriend.
Because that's right. Yeah. Do you think she's gonna do a prenup with him? So if you,
I'm seeing 200. That's just on like the Google AI thing.
I keep saying that he has made at least $2.1 million from his other ventures.
Okay.
It says the estimated salary is $220,000. Isn't it public?
Yeah, it should be.
I would imagine, but maybe for like that high of like cabinet positions, there it's not public.
Yeah, well, I think.
But it's I would say $200,000 to $300,000.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Safe guess.
Because I know like Congress is $174,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this says as FBI director, he would receive a federal salary likely around $200,000. But that's just an estimate.
So if he is suing for $250 million, that implies like if he got fired from his job, you could be like, yeah, this cost me. If I'd worked at this gig for 100 years.
Well, that's the actual damages. I'm sure are $1 million, and then the punitive damages are $249.
Right. And then you have to think about Alexis's Spotify streaming, and that's probably $249.
So they'll have to go through discovery. They'll have to go through. They'll have to prove that the reporter acted with actual malice.
They named her as a defendant as well.
Yeah.
It seems like both sides are pretty dug in, which is interesting because.
So when it comes to the defamation, they have to prove that the reporter knew that the claims were false.
Yeah.
They have to prove that the reporter acted with actual malice to try to damage Kash Patel. So it's very difficult. And then they have to prove that it did end up damaging him. So it's super difficult to prove a defamation against a public figure, which is an entirely different conversation because I do think that at times it's not great that it's so hard for somebody to win a lawsuit to defend themselves if they haven't done anything wrong. But in this case, it seems like most lawyers would be like, hey, they're going to get your phone. They're going to get every text message you've sent. This is a bad idea. My guess is he's probably hoping that they settle out of court.
Yeah. So here's what would be interesting. Let's say what you described is what happened. They conjured up this group of fake sources who gave this story to this reporter. She feels she has it thoroughly vetted, goes with it. I believe you have to, it's reckless disregard for the truth is the terminology that you have to have acted with.
Yeah.
Would that be applicable in that scenario?
No, I don't think that it would. In fact, I think that if there were sources that presented themselves as being real.
And they might be. These people probably work in the FBI.
Right. But let's just say hypothetically, every source is making it up about Kash. That Kash, the only time he's had a beer since he's been director of the FBI is in the locker room with the U.S. hockey team. And that's on camera. But besides that, sober. Right? If all these people from the FBI acted as sources, lied to the reporter from the Atlantic, and said, hey, Kash is doing all this. He's passed out. We had to get like the jaws of life out because we thought we couldn't get into his room. And he's putting us at like in a difficult position in terms of national security. He's a danger to the security of the United States. If they made all that stuff up and they told the reporter that, the reporter corroborated that story with other sources at the FBI. In that event, couldn't Kash Patel just sue all the people from the FBI that made up those stories? Because it seems like they would be the ones that slandered him and acted with actual malice to hurt him. Even if maybe their agenda was to feed a fake story to get the reporter in trouble for reporting something that's completely made up and be like, haha, made it up.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
So I guess it could be. So who else does he name as a defendant in this?
It was The Atlantic and Sarah Fitzpatrick.
So it has nothing to do with the sources. It's just
the 19-page lawsuit filed in the District of Columbia is seeking $250 million in damages. Sarah Fitzpatrick, the reporter who wrote the story, is also named as a defendant.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the only two listed that I see.
I want to see what happens.
Well, because but in the scenario you laid out, he would know who the sources are, right? Or are you saying, so I guess it could have gone two ways. Kash Patel could have given them, said, we're going to plant this story and see if they run with it.
Like an op, yeah.
Or these people conspired against him to do it. So it could actually be they're on his team or against him.
Right, it could be deep state.
Yeah.
And I think that's the angle that he's probably going with, is like there's at least 9 people at the FBI that got together, and they are the deep state, and they don't like the fact that I've fired some of their former coworkers or like rocked the boat too much. And so they conspired against me to plant a fake story to get me fired. And then those people should then probably be the ones that, because if you're the reporter and you've got 9 people from the FBI telling you this, you try to vet it. I don't know how the legal process works for that. I don't know all the different hoops they have to jump through to get it published, because I know that, like, if you're the Wall Street Journal, if you're the New York Times, if you're like CBS News, you've got so many lawyers that work for you that they tell you, okay, you need to button this up and make sure that this is ironclad before you publish it. I don't know how it works at the Atlantic, but if it's not true, they definitely expose themselves to, massive lawsuit. The question is it true? Kash does seem like a party guy to me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility, but do you go after a publication with a $250 million lawsuit if you're not absolutely positive?
You could, because you want to intimidate them.
Seems like a terrible idea.
It might not be if you have no intention of ever going to trial. You just file the lawsuit for $250 million. It makes you look like you're fighting it.
Try to get a settlement,
and then it signals to, maybe if you have a boss out there that pays a lot of attention to the news, maybe your boss sees that you're filing a massive lawsuit to fight whatever this is, and he's like, "Good job, Kash. Way to fight." That's another possible explanation.
But then you're going to look bad at some point when you drop it.
No, because when you drop a lawsuit, it never gets the same amount of attention as when the lawsuit's filed.
That's true.
And there's also a good chance that you could just settle it out of court, and the Atlantic says, we will pay you $1 million to make this go away because we don't feel like spending all this money on our legal department, and it's going to be a long fight, blah, 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 blah. Here's $1 million. And they could be like, okay, done.
That actually is nuts that you could just sue somebody. If this story's true, you put a massive lawsuit against them, and then it's cheaper for them to just give you $1 million than to go through
and prove it.
Yeah,
because you have the army of attorneys that you would have to hire to go up against the director of the FBI would be just overwhelming. Now, they do have, like, a lot of places have lawsuit insurance, but then if you use it too much, then the premiums on that go up, just like any other kind of insurance. So one of the claims that he's denying in the lawsuit is that he drinks to the point of intoxication and drinks to the point of excess. I don't know how that would be a tough one to prove is false when you're on camera drinking beer. Right? So the lawsuit listed 17 allegations in the article that the legal team alleges were false and defamatory statements of fact, including that he is known to drink to the point of obvious intoxication. that is a very tough, unless you never drink beer, that's a tough one to prove.
Yeah.
Because then you're just like, I drank 6 beers, but I was not obviously intoxicated that day. And then other people will be like, yeah, you were. And then that's all you can say.
And
Yeah,
he
it's
is
impossible to prove
notably on
either one.
camera celebrating with a lot of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the Atlantic said, we stand by our reporting on Kash Patel. We will vigorously defend the Atlantic and our journalists from this meritless lawsuit. It's the second lawsuit that Patel has filed in connection with media reports of his allegations of drinking and partying. Last year, he sued Frank Figliuzzi, an MSNBC analyst and former FBI agent, over claim that Patel was spending more time in nightclubs than the FBI's headquarters. That case, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas, is still pending. So he's got 2 lawsuits right now. Sorry for partying. They're the sorry for partying lawsuits from Kash Patel. And listen, I don't want to tell a guy that you can't hang out, you can't have a good time. He's a sports fan. He likes hockey. Good for him. But you just can't do it if you're the director of literally the FBI.
When he's like, what, can I not live my life? No, I actually don't want you living your life for the next 4 years. I kind of just want you focused on this one thing.
Yeah, again, I want the most no-nonsense person.
Yeah.
Like the toughest hang that you could ever have.
Yeah.
I want it to be like the strictest teacher you've ever encountered in your entire life, a guy that has 0 sense of humor, a guy that goes home and eats the exact same dinner every night.
With his German Shepherd.
Yeah. He watches his same program every night. He does a crossword puzzle for fun at lunch. And
Wait, whoa. All the other stuff, okay. What's wrong with that?
nothing's wrong. That's his one source of entertainment that he ever has, that he allows himself to have.
Doesn't have a Twitter.
You're not a crossword guy?
No, crosswords are great. I nothing.
You sounded pretty anti-C word right there.
I can see how that might have come across as anti-cross. I'm saying the only outlet that he has is he does one crossword puzzle a day.
Doesn't want to get too involved.
Yeah.
And doesn't do it on his phone because he doesn't want it tracked. He doesn't want someday to be subpoenaed.
I respect getting a little ink under your fingernails.
Yeah.
I want him to be.
You're talking to the guy that takes a scorebook to baseball games. I like a little pen and paper action.
We're all on the same
Now
page.
I do the crossword on my phone.
Yeah. You know what? I'll even allow him that, Big T. I would say that you can do.
Thank you.
You can do your crossword. A guy that does his crossword by himself at lunch every day, and then once a year he goes to a single baseball game, and he keeps score.
CPFT, these kids now, they want to play all these little word I played Wordle today, and what's the connections?
Yep.
Is that what it is? And New York Times bought all of these, and so they're now all on this app, and my crossword app is now cluttered with all this Gen Z bullshit that I have to wade through to get to the real crossword. I got to get through connections and Wordle and Bloggle and all this other shit
Strands.
to get to I don't even know what that one is, to get to the real stuff. And it's upsetting.
It sounds upsetting.
I pay a monthly subscription to do my crossword.
Yeah.
And all these kids now, all they want to do is play Wordle. It's a joke.
But honestly, that's the vibe I want the FBI director to have.
Yeah.
I don't want Kash Patel. I don't want Kash Patel to feel joy for the next 4 years. Not because I don't like him, which I don't. I need him to be zoned in. Hey, I need you to tap out of the Twitter. I need you to get out of the space.
Ideally, he would have no idea what Twitter was.
Ideally.
Like he would have a technology guy that would explain Twitter to him for important cases.
What does Bill Belichick call it?
Snap face.
That's performative.
But
Yeah.
I
knows
want him
what
to
they're
be.
called.
I want him to snap face real.
Well,
real
now
quick.
especially because he has a 28-year-old
He definitely he's on
girlfriend.
them now. Yeah.
Right. But I hate this level of unseriousness I have to deal with Kash Patel. Like, you need to fucking tighten it up.
Yeah. He eats the exact same dinner every night, which is like meatloaf,
White rice.
white rice / potatoes.
Yeah. A starch of some variety.
A starch, and then he's got like his peas and his carrots.
That sounds like prison.
It's like the movie Hitman before Glenn Powell becomes the hitman in the show.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he is. He's like a high school teacher. He wears his cargo pants.
Button up all the way to the top. No buttons.
Drives to work, drives home. That's about it.
You know, I could even see him because he gets home so late. Probably in my mind, he gets
You'd
home
hope.
at like 9:15 every night,
You'd
9:30.
hope.
Because he's working
Because
so
he's
hard.
working
He's
so
working so hard, but he tapes the baseball game.
Yes.
So he gets home and he's got the VHS, and he taped the baseball game and he pops it in, watches it from the start, and then he sits there by himself.
Does
And he
the
doesn't know
scorebook.
what Twitter is, so he doesn't have
Doesn't- yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Does the scorebook on his recliner.
Mhm.
Has a recliner.
Maybe has a small dog.
Oh, see, I think German Shepherd.
I think it might be a small dog that he like scratches its ears, and like
Okay.
it's funny because he's such a serious guy.
You'd think he'd have the German Shepherd.
But he goes for a walk and it's like a little Boston Terrier.
Yeah.
That's like making all the funny noises.
Yeah. Does
And
he have a
that's-
wife?
Ex-wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kids?
Yeah. Daughter.
Daughter.
She-
I knew it.
She kind of hates him. But
She respects.
it's just like, oh, that's daddy.
That's just dad.
I understand why you couldn't be the for me dad.
Yeah. What did he do before this?
It's just cop his entire life.
Cop his entire life.
Yeah. Cop/prosecutor.
Would you be able to tape a sporting event anymore? I couldn't do that.
Yeah. What is if we're doing like the Super Bowl, how long do you think you could last with the Super Bowl without it being spoiled?
Where are you?
Your normal day-to-day life here in Chicago.
Right, but on a Sunday night, you're not. In order for there to be the necessity of you taping it, you'd have to be doing something else.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying if there was a competition to see who could go the longest without.
I mean, you could just sit in your house with no screens on, and you could not know for as long as you want.
Yeah. But like.
But I'm saying if I have to go somewhere, if I'm obligated to be somewhere at the time a game is on,
Mm-hmm.
I have to figure out how I can watch it live because I can't tape anything
Right.
now. And now you can watch stuff on your phone, so it's good. But are people still doing that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think. Yeah, it's impossible to avoid the spoilers. But like, if you absolutely had to avoid a spoiler, let's call it Game 1 of the World Series, Big T, and you didn't want to find out who won. No, let's just go back to the Super Bowl. If it was a contest to see who could last the longest without getting the Super Bowl spoiled for you, how long do you think you could go if you really, really tried? But the rules are you have to go about your data. You have to.
I could make it to Monday morning coming in here, and then obviously I would find out.
Because you would just go to sleep. You'd fall asleep early, not look at a screen. And then you'd come in here and you'd find out.
If I didn't want to, I could go weeks.
You think weeks? I don't know. I think it would slip in.
I mean, the answer is just however long you can go without your phone.
Mm-hmm. Or TV.
Or even just social media. You could do whatever you want as long as you stay off social media.
Yeah. I think you could try. You could sit for hours on end coming up with different words that you wanted to mute on social media, and it would still slip by.
Yeah. I've got a lot of muted words.
Oh yeah, has there been an update on those?
I haven't added any in a long time, I don't think. Accounts, certainly, but not words, I don't think.
Yeah.
A lot of them are years and years old.
I did see last week that there's a new Top Gun coming out.
Really?
See that?
I did not.
It's in production right now. I don't know if that means that we're still in script development or if we started
Might
to
have
shoot.
Top Gun muted.
You have Top Gun muted?
No, I'm just saying I didn't see that, so.
Yeah, the new Top Gun 3.
Wow.
And you know what I got to do? I have to reach out to Liam's dad. I got to reach out to Mr. Blutman and talk to him because I've cooked up some storylines for Top Gun 3 that I would like to get into the producer's hands because I think I've got such a good plot for Top Gun 3 when it comes out, and it would be a shame if it didn't get used. I feel like we have to use it now. It's now or never.
Shouldn't you say it here so that if they do use it?
Yeah, good call.
But you don't want to say it too early in case they steal it.
But then I can be like, you're stealing my
okay.
idea.
Yeah, gotcha.
On record.
We're reverse Breaking Bad.
Yes.
We're getting
Yes.
back what Breaking Bad took from you.
Yeah, and I think I've even said this on the air. I think I said it maybe to Miles Teller when we had him on the show. But yeah, it's no brainer for Top Gun 3. It's the Casey Jones wait, not Casey Jones. That's the guy that was the engineer. It's the John Henry. It's a modern day John Henry story. John Henry was the steel driving man. He was either a sharecropper or a slave and he was working on the railroads, and he was the strongest man that you've ever seen. He would lay track faster than anybody else. This guy was a machine of a man. And then the steam engine got invented, and it threatened to put all the guys out there like John Henry out of work. And so they arranged a competition between John Henry and the drill that would go through a mountain. And they wanted to see who would work faster, who would work harder. John Henry beat the machine going through the mountain, and then he died at the very, very end after he proved that humans were still superior to the machine. Classic story. Now think about that applied to pilots and AI drones.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
The government shuts down all the manned pilot programs in the Air Force, the Navy, etc. And they're like, we're only going with the AI drones. And then Tom Cruise has to step in and prove that humans can still beat the machine. Because there's something that the machine can't do that only Maverick can. And they don't program Mavericks into the code.
That's strong.
I like that.
They program rules into the code. And the most important part about being a Top Gun pilot is knowing when to break the rules.
I love this.
That is Top Gun 3. Let me write at least a part of it.
Do you think they'll name an enemy in this one, or it's just the enemy?
I kind of like how it's a faceless enemy. Although real wingheads out there spotted that it was probably Iran last time. Because remember when they hijacked that plane to fly out?
Yeah.
When they like snuck into the airbase?
Mm-hmm.
That was an F-14 Tomcat, and the only other country on Earth that has F-14s besides us, and we've decommissioned all of our F-14s. The only other country that has them is Iran, because we sold them to Iran back in like the 80s.
And then we did the Top Gun mission to Iran in real life.
Yes. Hey, listen, art and life have become just like one and the same.
What's that, conditioning? Is that what
Yes.
they call it?
Yes, we've been conditioned.
By the way, is Twitter down for you guys?
I don't know.
Yes.
Nice.
But yeah, it was it's great that they're doing another Top Gun. I would just love to be a small part of it. Use part of my story, or I'll just be in the background. If you need a background actor like in the bar, where I'm sure you're gonna have a bar scene where Maverick and whatever the hotshot pilot, if it's gonna be Miles Teller, like they chat up some women. I'll just be in the back drinking a beer. Or I'll be, if you want to like put me in a plane, that'd be fine too.
If they were to take you up on all of this and put you in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say they gave you a big enough part that you are accredited, like you have a name, what would your call name be?
Oh, my call sign?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good question. I don't know.
I feel like we definitely probably did this when Top Gun 2 came out.
Yeah, but I can't give myself my call sign. That's something that your colleagues have to give you.
T?
T?
T, do you
What
have
if it
something
was,
for him?
I think we did, someone asked us on like a voicemail and we did
Right.
it. I don't remember what I said. What about Mike for you, but M-I-C?
That's good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I like that.
How much would you pay to be an extra in that movie? You're on screen for 1 second, but you're in a flight suit and you get to keep the flight suit.
A full second? Are we talking not like a fleeting pass? Yeah, a full second.
There is a
1,000.
Yes, there is a 1 second scene where you are visible in the background and you're wearing a flight suit that you get to keep. How much would you pay for that?
How much money would I pay for that?
Yeah.
Probably more than anything outside of a house. More than anything that I've purchased in my life.
50 grand?
Yes.
100?
That's where we're getting to.
So like 75 for sure.
Yeah. In that area.
And 100 you'd think about it.
Right, but I have to be not the director's cut,
No, you're in the movie.
not like the extra.
For 1 second you are in the movie.
I'm on the big screen. You can clearly see that it's me. I'm wearing a flight suit, and I get to keep the flight suit.
Yeah.
Yes, somewhere in the $50,000 to $100,000 range. I would 100% do that.
So if they said 125, you'd say no.
Yeah, at that point, a man's got to have a code.
You stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
At this point, they're just taking advantage of my very generous offer. Usually you have to pay the actor to be in the movie.
Typically.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I might run into some problems with the SAG if I did that.
Yeah.
The Screen Actors Guild might break
Do
my
you have to have a
knees.
card to be in a movie for 1 second?
I imagine that you probably would have to get your card, but I would get my card for that.
You don't have one already?
No. I would, yeah. I would, whatever it takes, I would be very interested in that. So let me know if you are the producer of Top Gun and you're Macrodosian. Just reach out, and you can take some of my storyline. I think it's a good storyline. I think people would like it. Or if you need, like, why are you spending all this money on script supervisors and subject matter experts from the actual military when you can just use my brain, and I've played over 200 hours of Flight Simulator. So if you have a question about any of the planes, you can just ask me instead. Save yourself some money.
Do you think Mark Blutman knows Jerry Bruckheimer?
Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer.
82 years old.
He's an absolute legend. Armageddon, Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop, National Treasure, Bad Boys, Pirates of the Caribbean. GOAT.
F1.
F1.
A movie whose plot I still am searching for but was entertained by.
Mm-hmm. He's a big John McCain fan. Looks like it, yeah. I mean, that's apropos of nothing. I'm just reading about the man. Listen, yeah. Oh my God. Yes. He produced Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, wow. Would you like to make a call right now?
Yes. Yeah.
I would like for you to.
Yeah, I gotta call. I'm not gonna say who I'm going to call. But I do know a friend
Who had a small role in
Kangaroo Jack.
The list of these movies is hysterical. Remember the Titans, Beverly Hills Cop, Pirates of the Caribbean, Top Gun, National Treasure, Kangaroo Jack.
With Pirates of the Caribbean, that one we were having this debate the other day. Do you say, in general, Caribbean or Caribbean?
I say Caribbean with the exception of those films.
Same. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Okay, let's go quick.
You said you weren't gonna.
Oh, sorry. Bleep out that name.
Tell him Big T would love to be in the film if they're just taking requests.
If Jerry's not picking up.
Telephone number.
I can't believe Jerry's not picking up my call.
Wow, is that a first?
It's one of the first, yeah. Jerry is usually 100% answering. Let me text.
Tell him please call back before the end of the show. I'd love to resolve this today. Do you have Mark Blutman's number?
I don't have his phone number, no.
Should we get Liam in here?
They definitely know each other. Yeah, let's get Liam in here.
Let's try to figure this out.
Full court press.
I mean, yeah. Strike while the iron's hot. He is here. I saw him.
Yeah, okay. Because if they're making this movie right now, we have to have these conversations. If
they're already in filming?
I don't know if it's in filming or if they're still writing. I read about it last week. And it sounded like they were still in the writing process. But who knows? These things move fast. You know how Hollywood is, Big T. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a second. Stand by. Also in the news today, Big T sent this one over. There was an accounting error revision that brought Ilhan Omar her net worth from $30 million to $95,000.
Yeah, did you see that?
That was in the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, I just saw that. I just read about it.
So she, I guess in her tax filings last year, approximated the value of her husband's venture capital firm and winery at $25 and $5 million. The previous year, they were, hold please, she valued them at like $1,000. In her latest financial disclosure filed in May 2025 and covering 2024, Omar valued husband Tim Meinetz's venture capital management firm Rose Lake Capital at $5 to $25 million, and his winery St. Cru, it's ESTCRU, I don't know, between $1 million and $5 million, far greater than the $1 to $1,000 and $15 to $50,000 she valued those businesses at the previous year. And then this year, she valued her assets at $95,000.
Okay, so it sounds like correct me if I'm wrong, she included her husband's business as part of her assets and then revised that to say that belonged to her husband, not to her.
I don't know if she didn't count them this time or if the value was just drastically reduced. I don't know exactly what happened.
Okay.
But they claim it was an accounting error.
Okay.
Not necessarily that just the valuations went down. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think the value, from my understanding, I don't think the valuations of the business went down. I don't think that his like venture capital fund went to $0 or whatever.
Well, she said it was $1,000 the year before, so who knows what they're valuing this stuff at.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do know that she married a rich guy.
Well, now she says she's not.
But she says she's
not rich.
She's not rich, but her husband's rich. I think that's what the claim is here.
The controversy stems from a massive gap between her original filings, which estimated her assets between $6 million and $30 million, and a newly amended report that places those assets at a much lower range of $18,000 to $95,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it does say those assets.
Right, her assets. I don't know if that's saying...
That sentence says the same assets. I don't...
Okay, we got to figure this out.
But either way...
Either way,
just an interesting...
Either way, she should be way better at taxes, given that she's in Congress. I would assume that she has access to some pretty good financial tax people.
Yeah, I would love to figure out what that accounting error was. Do we have Liam Blutman?
I just gave him the Zoom login.
Is he not here?
No, he just left. He said, I don't know where he went. So yeah, we got to get to the bottom of the Ilhan Omar thing. I mean, if your husband is a rich person that has a venture capital firm and you're married, I feel like most people claim those as being like joint assets, right?
Yeah.
Like, so the general theory or the principle behind it is, are you avoiding conflicts of interest in your job as a congressperson? And if you're legislating on things that your husband could stand to profit from, it also stands to reason that you would profit from those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got in the news today?
That was most of it. Have you seen the Gindex?
No, what's that?
So there was a British engineer who set up an AI call center, basically, to call every bar in England and ask what they charge for a pint of Guinness. And then he compiled all of that into a website that lists the national average and the cost at every bar. So now the bars have found out about this, and the free market at work, they are all trying to lower their prices to be the lowest Guinness in the area now that they know you can look at the Gindex.
Because it's easily comparable.
Right. So
what data did they get out of that? Are there certain towns that have like the cheapest Guinness?
I'm not sure, but you can go to there he is.
Before Blutman comes on, he's brought to you by BetterHelp. This whole episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct. They're fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and your preferences. Their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you're not happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time. They've got tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 6 million people globally. And it works. It's got an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. When life feels overwhelming, therapy can help. Sign up, get 10% off. BetterHelp.com/dose. That's BetterHelp.com/dose. And now here is Liam Blutman. We now welcome on a very special guest of macrodosing, Liam Blutman. Liam is trying to get his headphones on, I think. I don't think he can hear us right now. Oh, he can hear us. Putting the cans on. You look good, Blut.
Hey, how's it going, friends? Hello.
It's going well. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Liam, I had a question for you because in the news this week, we've seen that Top Gun 3 is in production right now. And
okay.
I didn't know if your dad had any sort of connection with Jerry Bruckheimer, the famous producer that's working on this, or anybody that might be working on the project, but I've got some great ideas for a script for Top Gun 3.
Okay, I don't know who that is. I haven't seen either movie, but I look forward to taking notes on your ideas and getting it over to Marky.
Okay, so I can send you my notes,
Yes.
and then you can send those to your dad and see if he can get those in the right hands.
We also
Okay.
were just wondering if Marky does know Jerry Bruckheimer or anyone else associated. We would just love to be considered maybe for an infinitesimal role in the film, non-speaking, of course. Just maybe we're hanging out in the background at some point.
How do you spell this guy's last name?
BRUCKHEIMER.
Okay. I'll text Marky and ask if he knows him. Now we wait.
Could we potentially get Mark on the show?
And we could talk about it. I don't know if what I'm doing right now is like considered way outside the bounds to the point where they're not allowed to accept outside solicitations on things. Some places are like that. Like I know there's a lot of record companies that if you send them like your demo tape in the mail, they will never listen to it, because if they listen to some things, then they open themselves up to being sued if one of their bands has a song that sounds like a song that you sent in.
You probably should have done that with Breaking Bad.
I probably should have done that, yes, 100%. But yeah, so it would just be my dream, Liam, to have some small part in Top Gun 3, whether it's one aspect of the storyline or if it's just me in the background for a second wearing a flight suit, whatever the case may be. Just I want to tell them that I'm here to help.
Okay, I have decent news for you.
Okay.
Marky's response is, I don't personally, but a good friend of mine does. Why?
Okay.
That's a step in the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction. And is his friend Jerry O'Connell? Because I did notice that...
Is not.
Okay, I did notice that Jerry, he was in Kangaroo Jack. That was a Jerry Bruckheimer joint.
Interesting. Okay, Kangaroo Jack, one of the first films I watched.
It's a good one.
May I ask how Marky and Jerry know each other so well?
So yes, this is a good question. I honestly had thought that through me and Lukey working here that had like helped ignite the friendship. Not the case. Marky and Jerry have known each other for years and years. I believe Marky casted Jerry in something, if I'm not mistaken, long ago, and they've been friends since. And those two and Howie love getting coffee every morning.
Mandel, correct?
Yes.
Every morning. I love that.
What a crew.
I know.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Liam, if you could tell him, like, I don't know how much of this you want to share, but the general premise is the story, the age-old story of John Henry going up against the machine. But this time, it's Maverick going up against AI drone technology.
Okay, topical.
And they're trying to get the real pilots out of the biz. And Maverick has to go in and prove that there's still room in this world for a human pilot. And I you can listen to the whole tagline. I put out a whole spiel about it earlier. But basically, it's like the computers don't know. They're great at a lot of stuff. They don't know when you have to break the rules. That's only something that a Maverick can do. Top Gun 3 in theaters this summer.
You want a tagline?
Yeah.
One mission the drone couldn't have flown.
That's good. It rhymes. Yeah, that's good.
But I feel like that kind of gives it away right off the bat.
No, that tells you what we need.
Mm-hmm. Man versus machine. Maverick versus machine.
I like Maverick versus machine.
Yeah, that's it. We don't have to throw that out there. We'll think more about the tagline, but the general idea, the nugget, the seed of the story, I think is very solid. So, again, I'm just here to help, whatever they need.
Mm-hmm. You sound like you're willing to give it your all, and that should be appreciated.
Yes. Okay. Well, let me know what your dad says. Also, tell him I say hi.
He said, "Okay, I'll tell him you say hi." He said O'Connell is my top Jerry.
That's fair. Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. Unless Jerry Bruckheimer brings me under his wing.
Where's Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jersey Jerry. Well, he's my number one Gerard.
He's my number one Gilfone, my number two Gerard.
Who's your number one Gerard?
Ryan Gerard. Come on, golf.
Okay. Come on, golf.
Come on, golf.
All right, Blut. Have a good one. I'll let you get back to it.
Okay,
Blut,
I'm
man.
gonna go sleep. You guys have fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Blut Dog was brought to you by Shopify. When you're starting off with something new, it seems like your to-do list keeps growing every day with new tasks. That list can easily begin to overrun your life. Finding the right tool that not only helps you out but simplifies everything can be such a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, like the Barstool store. Accelerate your efficiency whether you're uploading new products or trying to improve existing ones. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start earning. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/dose. That's shopify.com/dose. I've actually used Shopify. Back in the day, like 2015, I wanted to sell some t-shirts on my website, and I ended up using Shopify, sold a bunch of t-shirts, was very easy to use, even for someone as stupid as me. I was in charge of all of it, and they made it very simple to get the products in, get the orders in, get them taken care of, check them off the list. Shopify made a very overwhelming task seem simple to do, and they can help you out too. So check them out, pay them a visit, shopify.com/dose. We're making some progress here. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
It's 1 p.m.
Listen, he got up early for the show.
I mean, you and I do wub.
That's true. That's true. It's about to be late season too, where we got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and so I'm gonna be going to bed at like midnight, waking up at 5:30 for wub. That's fun.
I go to bed at midnight anyway.
I always wonder what people
What time are
like,
you going to bed?
Well, if it's like NHL or NBA playoffs, sometimes pretty late.
No, but on a normal day, no sports. What time are you going to bed?
11:30,
Okay.
11.
So that's almost midnight.
Yeah, but sometimes you get the overtime. You get like the 4 overtimes. You got to stay up for
And
it.
it's always in Vancouver.
Yes, so it's the late game anyways.
Not this year because they suck, but somewhere out there.
Yeah, but it's the late games, and then you know how it goes. It's fun. I'm not going to complain about it, but I always like to imagine like the super early morning people, like the Mike and Mikes of the world. If you get on the radio at like 5:30 a.m. or 5 a.m., there's zero chance that you stay up to watch all the games.
No.
Especially as you get older. If you got like kids and stuff, these guys, they don't stay up to watch the games. All right, we got some other stuff going on in the news. Big T, do you want to talk any sports?
What about them?
You have any NBA playoff takes?
I know that CJ McCollum kicked Jalen Brunson in the dick.
Yep.
That is the only series I could name you both teams that are playing.
Okay. You could not name...
The Spurs are playing the Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw some discourse on the court.
Yeah, what'd you think about the court?
Not a fan. Doing a lot up there. Yeah, I believe those are the only two series I know both teams competing.
I think it's a cool court. There's a lot going on. I think it's extremely unintimidating. I think it's almost like welcoming.
Yeah.
I said on
we're here for a fiesta.
Yeah, I said on PMT it feels like a jumpy air castle.
Yeah.
Which is great. They're a lot of fun. And it looks like a fun environment to be in, but I wouldn't be like afraid. I would be afraid of Wemby, but I wouldn't be afraid of the court. I think the court has to step up its game.
Did they win?
They did, yeah. And it was really close. Wemby was awesome. This just might be the Wemby. The NBA might just become the Wemby show for the next 10 years.
Who's on the Trailblazers these days?
You got Stephon Castle.
He is on the Spurs. I know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, in that game. Who's on the Trailblazers? I knew that. On the Blazers, you've got Donovan Clingan.
Oh, okay.
From UConn. Kling Kong. Then you've got the Israeli guy that was on the Wizards. What's his name? Denny? Avdia, yeah. That guy.
Oh, they have, or they don't have Sengun anymore.
No, where did Sengun
He's on the
go?
Rockets, right?
Yeah. Are you a Gooner?
No.
I'm a Gooner.
I just know that he gets a lot of triple doubles.
Yeah, I am a gooner. I believe in the man. I want to ask you about this, Big T, because I know you don't really care about the NBA, but you should start to watch Wemby.
Okay.
Because the entire sport is just going to be Wemby, ultimately Wemby.
Well, the sport of basketball, as far as I'm concerned, like that, it's just in college, and then they don't. I wish there was a way to watch those guys play after that, but that's it.
Big T.
It's actually good now. They get extra years in college and stuff. They play forever, so it's better because once they do that, I don't know where they go.
Big T looks at the NBA like most people look at the senior tour.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now, if they're in college, if they're in the NCAA tournament, that's the show.
Yeah.
And then, they can go off if they want to keep playing and collect a paycheck, there's an avenue for them to do that in the NBA later. But ultimately, the peak of the profession is college basketball.
Yeah, like Nate Ament, he's talking about leaving college after his freshman year. I don't know why he would do that. He needs to continue getting his education. He's really good at playing college basketball, too. He's just going to give up basketball.
Right.
I don't know why he would do that, but yeah, I wish there was a way to keep watching those guys.
Yeah, so I know you don't really care that much about it, but it will end up being like there's a big regular season and a big production made every year in the playoffs, and then ultimately it's just going to be Wembanyama and whatever team he's on, probably the Spurs for his entire career.
Do you remember Cooper Flagg last year at Duke?
Yeah.
What's he doing? I mean, he was awesome at playing basketball, and now is he selling insurance somewhere? What's he doing?
He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year.
In what?
In the NBA.
Oh, okay.
The National Basketball
So he is still playing.
He plays basketball.
Oh, that's good to hear.
For a job.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he found a place to land where he doesn't have to get a real job yet.
Okay, good for him because it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. But in a sport that you do care about a little bit, is Tottenham going to get relegated?
So they got a big draw this weekend.
So I think if you had gone into this weekend and you had said, do you have to get a win? I think most people would have said you would like a win, but you just can't have a loss.
No, that was a big draw for them.
You need to get a result. You need a point out of it. Now, the way that they end up getting that draw might have actually made it worse, though, because they were winning, and it was 5 minutes into added time, 5 minutes out of 8 into added time, and then they gave up the equalizing goal. So it was a win that then became a draw at the end. That probably bummed them out a lot. But now if you look at the odds, Big T, odds for Tottenham to be relegated at the end of the season, I believe that's minus 130.
That sounds about right.
And for West Ham to get relegated, now it's plus 150. So those kind of flip-flopped over the last week. So right now, Tottenham is a favorite to be relegated, which would be fucking hilarious if it happened.
Yeah, West Ham is a point ahead of them, but they have played one fewer game. So if they win that game, they'll be 4 points ahead. Tottenham plays Wolverhampton, who's in last place. I mean, if they lose that, it's over.
Yes.
But they should win that game. Then they play Aston Villa, who's very good. Aston Villa should take care of them. They play Leeds.
Oh, wait, Jerry's calling. Hey, Jerry.
What's up, pal?
Hey, PFT commenter, you're on Macrodosing podcast right now, live to tape.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jerry.
That's Big T.
Hi, everybody. Big fan of the show.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. Really looking forward to seeing you in Vegas.
Oh, yes. So am I.
When I called, did you think that there was an outside chance that I was inviting you to go to the spring break experience in Vegas?
That's the show that you guys are doing that Annika and Nikki were fighting over?
Yes, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, sure. I would love to go. I have to admit, I have not watched anything this weekend. I just I know there was some sort of meltdown by Annika, but I love Annika, and I think Nikki and Annika were sort of breaking off into their own sort of like little unit. And that's something I did recognize. We did Camp Barstool. I think they are very close. I was watching them quite intently when we were at Camp Barstool. It doesn't seem to be sexual. It seems to be just two friends. I couldn't believe I would watch them at Camp Barstool. They would sit with each other for hours and just talk. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I mean, like my wife is my best friend. Everybody knows that. Rebecca Romaine. Look it up. And I mean, I'm good for 10 minutes with her tops, and then just phones out and just like that's it,
Yeah.
And we're best friends. But like Annika and Nikki would talk for hours and hours and hours, and they would just like look out at that lake at Camp Barstool, Lake Barstool, and just talk. So they obviously have a connection that I mean, there's no denying that they have a connection. But yeah, I'd love to go. You know what? I'll watch all the clips.
Well, Jerry, let me just interrupt. I'm not actually inviting you to go out. I'm just saying, like, when I called, I wondered if that's the reason that you thought I was going. We're still going to Vegas for Max's bachelor party, but I don't think that they've got the space for you to go out there this week.
Well, then why the fuck did you just say that?
I said I want to know if you thought that's why I was calling. That was a bad way that I phrased it. It's very misleading. I apologize.
No, when you say call, I just assume it's something that can't be put in writing,
Right.
So that's why I call up.
Okay.
I didn't realize we were on air until you said are we on air?
Yeah, we're on the air right now. This is all for air. But I do have a real reason why I called you.
All right. Well, now that we're playing the guessing game, let me guess.
Okay.
I know you're into flight simulation. I know I send you flight simulator videos. This is going to be something about naval pilots.
Jerry, you're hot.
Hormuz or something.
You're hot.
You're lava hot right now, Jerry.
It's going to be naval Strait of Hormuz. Do I want to go in on a flight simulator business?
Colder.
You're getting a little colder.
Okay. Flight simulator. Do I want to be your wingman in some sort of dogfight, online dogfight?
Not really online dogfight, but I mean, we could talk about something like that.
But he does need you to be his wingman in a sense for this ask.
Yeah.
Oh, wingman for this ask. Does it have to do with me? I mean, I know we're on air. I want to apologize for portraying Geno Smith on your podcast. That was insensitive.
It was great. It was fantastic, Jerry.
And actually, I should whisper this. I know I'm on air. I am amazed at the lack of fallout from that. Either people did think it was actually like funny and they were like, let's give it a pass. It's so funny, the fine line between what's offensive and not. It's like, it's like, if it's really funny, it sort of gets like you get a pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Were you a little bit offended that there weren't people out there being like, I can't believe Jerry O'Connell did this?
Well, at first I was like, wow, I was more famous than this. But then something happened to me, Big Cat. It sort of like emboldened me where next fools, I may try an Asian accent or something. I may really go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was very funny. It's the hardest that I've ever laughed. But
I mean, I might go Indian. I don't know. I might Middle Eastern or something. I'm gonna be someone who tries to get canceled.
Jerry, can you do a female voice?
Like a Manti Teo? I'm dying, Manti. I love you.
That's pretty good.
Manti, I'm gonna, when I see you, I'm gonna suck your dick. Manti, I'm gonna let you put your finger in my butt just like Urban Meyer. That's the only coach cheating scandal situation we're allowed to talk about out there seems to be an embargo.
That was really good, Jerry. I think you could do that. We could try to. I'm going to put that in my file of like the amazing things that Jerry O'Connell can do in terms of acting.
This would be a good one. We call up, but I'm sorry, I'm not talking about your podcast. I'm talking about part of my take, but
okay.
Which I was just listening to when you called up. It'd be fun to say like I'm a exotic dancer who's pregnant with Max's child.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You put a baby in me, Max. I recognize you from your hair. It was him. Also his belly. I know he told me he was dieting and he had trouble getting it up because he's on a GLP-1. So his blood flow isn't the same. But we got it up and you came inside. And you gave me a job. Are we on the air?
Yeah, we're on the air.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
Shit.
This is good stuff, Jerry. This is good stuff.
But this is my time on your show.
Yeah,
You
so
have to ask him more.
I had a question for you, Jerry. And
Wait, I was gonna guess.
yeah,
Something about. Oh, is it about the Storm Moose?
it's about naval aviation. It is 100%
I
about
fucking knew
naval
it.
aviation.
I knew it. Oh, by the way, you listen on my feed. If you put a naval ship blasting a hole in an engine room with precision, I'm watching that shit. And I do want to apologize too to anyone who's offended. You show me a video of a drug boat getting blown up, I'm watching the whole thing, especially at night. I love the night vision ones.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Yeah, no, I'll send you some content for sure. But I had a question for you.
Do you have stuff that's like not for air?
No, this is for air. It's a question for air.
No, but I mean, but do you have like content that's even a little like dark web stuff?
Yeah, I can send you some stuff that I have not put out. Yes.
Oh, send it. Don't
Okay.
even worry. Send it right to my text. I'll watch it all. I love that stuff.
Okay, I will absolutely do that. But Jerry,
I know that's sick of me, but man, just like waiting for it to blow up and then it does, and you're like, there it goes.
yeah, and you're always going to watch until the end of the video too.
Gotta do it. And you also look for. I'll be a little discreet. I realize this is for air, but like you look for things flying away. You specifically really lean into your phone to look for things flying away from the blast. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I'll get you some great content, Jerry. Some fantastic content. So I got a question for you. It's about naval aviation, but it also relates to your experience as an actor, as a famous actor.
All right.
In Kangaroo Jack, you worked with one Jerry Bruckheimer, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jerry Bruckheimer, he's also producing Top Gun.
3.
Top Gun 3 coming out. I've got what I think is maybe the best storyline ever for Top Gun 3, which I'm willing to give for free, or I just want to contribute any way that I possibly can. If that means being an extra in the background of one scene, if that means if they want me to send over any notes through you or through Mr. Blutman.
I know a young lady who's pretty high up at his production company.
Okay.
Huge Steelers fan, by the way.
Okay.
Huge, like crazy. It's funny. I guess I'll say to her, there's a podcast and one of the guys is really into flight simulating and he has a story idea for Top Gun 3. You know what they're going to say is, don't even send it to me because they don't want there to be any, like, they don't want to be able to, you to say, like, they don't want you to be able to say that they stole your idea.
Yeah, I hear that.
Not gonna work.
Non-solicited material, yeah.
I can't say her name if you want to reach out to her on social media.
You can how about you just text me her name or her social media handle. I can reach out to her.
Text her name. I'm also not sure that she wants to be known on macro dosing.
Right.
Like,
we won't say her name. You just text me her name, and I'll do it. I'll do it myself, not on the air. Or if there's a way where I could just be an extra on that movie, that would also make me very happy.
Are you keeping the storyline close to the vest?
I know I said it out loud just like 10 minutes ago.
Well, just give me like 2 sentences.
Okay. All right. John Henry, the steel driving man, the age-old tale of man against machine as he plowed through the mountain and he finally defeated the steam engine, proving that humans are still superior to all the modern inventions. That's what I'm looking at in Top Gun 3, where it's man against AI drone technology.
Oh,
The government cancels all the contracts and says no more fighter pilots, no more fighter planes.
right.
We've got drones. We've got swarms of drones. We don't need people anymore. And then
Right.
Top Gun, Tom Cruise gets up there and he's like, sometimes you need a maverick. And he proves that a man is still necessary in today's modern warfare,
Right.
where he takes out,
Right.
because Jerry, listen to this. The most important part about knowing the rules is knowing when to break them. And the
Well,
AI drones, they don't know when to break the rules that are coded for them.
Right. Right.
But you know who
When
does
AI
is a
getting
maverick.
Smarter, they'll like know when to break it and stuff.
No, they don't. They don't, Jerry. You can't program a machine to break its own rules. Can you just go with us, Jerry? Can you just do me a favor and roll with it?
I'll tell you, my biggest problem with AI is like I'm at that age now where anytime I see any story or any video or anything, I just assume it's AI.
Yeah. It's a problem.
It's wild. But maybe there'll be a return to people like Maverick and like what you guys do and all that stuff, because I can't go on the internet anymore. It's just like, I don't even know, is this real? Is it not? I mean, I guess it's kind of interesting. It would be crazy if it was. I have to ask in comments, like, is this real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think, gosh, if I were you, PFT, I would do this through social media. I think Jerry Bruckheimer is active on social media.
Okay, I'll try to reach out.
I would because I think if I'm just trying to imagine like I would love to be hired by the Bruckheimer company, and I'm just trying to think like if I went to one of their higher ups and said, there's a guy named PFT,
Mm-hmm.
and he has an idea for Top Gun 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who can he talk to over there? Just trying to imagine if that would lessen my chances of ever working at that company again.
I'd say probably. I'd say it might.
Or increase my chances, because while I do want to help you out, really my ultimate goal here is to continue working in Hollywood.
Yeah, is to make money for yourself. Now, what if, as I reached out,
for my children who are about to enter college and stuff, it's not for myself. I'm not really lavishly spending money on myself.
well, you have to fix the driveway.
Yeah, of course.
So, but if I reach out, can I say I'm good friends with Mr. Jerry O.C.? He's a dear, close, personal friend of mine, and he said that I should reach out directly to you.
And I will tell you, he's a fucking great dude.
Yeah.
He is just, when you work for him, you get it. Literally, you get it. You get why he's as good as he is. And it's interesting because you realize there's a real craft to making hit movie after hit movie after hit movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good at what he does.
He's the
really
best.
Good.
He's the best at what he does. Big T, do you have any questions for Jerry? You looked like you were about to say something.
No, I just had a question for you, PFT, which is Jerry seems to be hung up on, he doesn't know how this will affect his relationship with this company, this person. I don't think you care all that much about your idea being used as much as you do. I think your ask is you just want to be an extra. I think that's your real ask here.
I think you can be an extra.
Jerry, we kind of lost you there. Did you pay your bill?
It's probably a line that they have bounced around a little bit.
Yeah. I will listen. I will do.
I'm going to say you're probably not the first one to say, "Man, versus the drones." I don't want to shit on your trade here.
Well, I did. I also said it 7 months ago when I found out that Top Gun 3 might be a thing.
Stuff you're going to scare off Mr. Bruckheimer.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay. All right. I'll let that go. But yeah, maybe if I could just be in the background of a scene as an extra. How do I go about getting extra work on one specific movie?
Well, I've seen some images of you on the internet. You've been growing your hair out. They're gonna have to shave that shit. I mean, pilots can't look like they're working as as a repo tow truck driver.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you think I look like, Jerry?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, you look like your hair right now looks like you have a tow truck and you're a repo person.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we can talk about that.
And you look like you look like someone who like online like jumps out of his truck with like a bat and goes, it's not coming off. It's not coming off. Get away from the car. I'm gonna pull away. Get away from the car. I'm gonna pull away. I'm gonna drag you. Well, you should have thought about that when you bought it, sir. Work for the bank. I'm so sorry about your situation. I know nothing about it. This is just business. Get off of the car. I'm driving away. Like that's it. You look like a little bit to me, and I know that's generalizing and stereotyping.
Yeah,
but that's what you
it's okay.
look like.
They have wigs in Hollywood, so I could do something. That's not an issue. If that's the hang up, we can work through that.
If I typed into AI, show me a repo person who bought a tow truck, it kind of like what your hair looks like is what would pop up.
Right. But again, that's okay. We can work through that. There's ways around that.
I'm pretty excited about this bachelor party.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time, Jerry. We will talk to you soon. I appreciate you calling me back. We got to get
just quickly. Are you guys going to fish? Are you guys going to fish in Vegas?
Yeah, at the Sphere.
Friday night or Saturday night?
I'll get back to you with the details on exactly when we're going. Are you coming?
I'm coming. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get back to you with the detail. I think it's going to be on Friday.
Night.
Okay.
Well, then you know what? I can't. My daughter is performing in an improv group, and she has asked me to perform with her.
Oh, all right. That'll be fun.
Yeah, a little yes and with my daughter.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Well,
You want to try it? Let's. Big T, give me a suggestion. Let's get a suggestion from the audience.
For what?
Improv. We're doing improv.
Just give me a suggestion. Just give me a word. Give me a play. Something you keep in your pocket.
AirPods.
AirPods. Okay. Hey. You haven't happened to see a left AirPod? It's got a little bit of earwax on the tip, and the other side has been chewed. Has anyone seen that? See, that's where you would start, like an improv situation.
Mm-hmm. And then I'd say yes. I saw one of those earlier today, but Jerry, I got some bad news for you. There was a lady that came around, and she was looking specifically to buy only a left earpod because she only has one ear. So I sold it to the lady with one ear.
You sold her a one-ear AirPod.
I did.
Only did you do that? Who does that? No one sells an AirPod like that. All right, well, forget it. Forget it. Listen.
You're not listening to me, Jerry. It's all going in one ear, out the other.
I know. You haven't seen, this is so weird, but it's a workman, just a left workman's glove. It's like a glove, like a suede glove. I use it to shovel, but my right hand doesn't get blisters, just my left hand. Have you seen a left-handed workman's glove?
I actually did see a left-handed workman's glove,
cool,
Jerry.
cool.
Yeah, it's right.
I'm going to need that back.
Unfortunately, I thought it was a hamburger helper glove. So I actually already I sold that one on.
And scene. Look at that.
Okay, there we go.
You're pretty good at this, man.
You just never say no. That was good. You know what, Jerry? Listen, I don't think it's like too many laugh out loud moments, but I think this is good warm up. Just getting the brain going. You know.
All right. I'll text that lady from Bruckheimer, but
yeah, just send me her online info, and then I'll just let me handle the rest, Jerry.
How do I word this? Hey, there's a guy I know as a podcast. He wants to pitch you an idea.
You don't have to.
I think we dropped.
Yeah.
I think we dropped the script entirely, and the ask is just to be an extra.
Yeah, just to be an extra.
No one's going to read a script in this town. It's not happening. Like, it's got to be like you just have to pitch, and then it goes from there.
Okay. Yeah.
No one's going to sit down. No one's going to sit down and read your guys' 400-page manifesto for Top Gun 3. No one's doing that.
Just say, just say that you know a guy. If you gas me up a little bit, Jerry. Be like, he's super attractive, very averagely tall, normal tall human. He does the #1 sports podcast in the world.
I will say that.
And he's a massive fan of the Top Gun franchise, and a fan of naval aviation. And
you better be nice to this lady's a Steelers fan. You You better be nice to Aaron and DK.
Yes, tell her that I will be very nice to DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy and the entire town of Pittsburgh. That's a promise.
All right, guys.
All right, bye, Jerry. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye. Okay, I think we made some progress there. Jerry's very concerned.
Are you leaving that whole thing in?
Sure. Jerry's very concerned that I'm going to blow up his career. I will not. I mean,
I understand from his perspective. You know, he's still
yeah.
trying to get jobs, and if you go in there telling these people that you've got a better idea for Top Gun 3 than they do.
I mean, he makes some good points, like that someone's probably had the same idea or a similar idea for the script.
I think you have a good idea for a script, but I think we just leave that off the table and you just go in and say, my name is PFT Commenter. I am a massive aviation enthusiast, and it has been my dream to spend even a 1/10 of a second on screen in a Top Gun film.
Right. You might recognize me from my appearance on Billions, HBO's Billions.
When was that?
Where I co-starred in a scene with CC Sabathia.
Wow.
You're famous.
Yeah, I was on Billions, Big T.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And you don't have a SAG card for that?
I think I did at some point.
You're also on Netflix 3 times a week.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah,
Netflix
my
sometimes.
podcast is on Netflix. My other podcast that I sometimes pretend to care about is on YouTube.
I care very deeply about this podcast.
Well, you said 11 a.m. What time we get started?
I did, but sometimes you got
11:45. I reckon.
Sometimes you got an interview with Kyle Schwarber. That
I thought I had my AM PM mixed up. I thought we
Yeah.
might have been going 11 p.m.
Yeah, like what do you want me to do? Just stop Schwarber and be like, "Hey, Kyle, this is a great story that you're telling about how emotional."
No, you should have just told me 11:45
when you hit that home run against the Padres. But I gotta go.
Should have asked him about losing 5 in a row.
We did talk about his streaks, about like how it's a long season. Phils aren't doing so great right now.
It's a long season.
A very long season. That's why. Do you get excited after individual games at all?
Yeah. I mean, I watch every pitch, so like, you know, I want them to win every night.
Yeah.
But you know, you just have to be able to. You got to dissociate from college football brain.
Mhm.
I think the Braves uniquely struggle with this because the fan base is so college football centric that they lose 2 games in a row. And people lose their minds, and you got to shift your mindset, especially later in the season. Once it is football season, that really starts to permeate.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're on a 5-game win streak right now. I love it.
That does you make a great point there. I hadn't thought about that, but like the general fan base of the Braves, not everybody, but they probably have more college football fans than most other teams.
Yeah.
That root for them. So yeah, not taking the loss is too hard.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Braves, Facebook, and Twitter are if the Braves lose 2 or 3 games in a row, don't go on social media.
So my grandfather, Jack was a big Braves fan, and that's where I grew up visiting him down in Greensboro, North Carolina, watching the Braves. And especially over the summertime, you got Braves every night, TBS. It was like clockwork. That's what we did. We watched the Braves. He was Frank the Tank before Frank the Tank. Like the sky was falling like every single time anything bad happened. It actually didn't matter. Like it'd be the first inning, Fred McGriff would get up, and Granddaddy Jack would be like, "This is a terrible ball player, terrible ball player." I was like, "It says that he's batting like 263," and he's like, "I think they just make those numbers up. There's no way he's batting."
So this was like mid 90s, like when they're in the World Series every year.
Early to mid. One of my first baseball memories was them finishing in last place in their division, which I believe was 1989 or 1990.
Well, 91 they went worst to first, so it could have been 90. But the 80s they were pretty bad.
They're bad, yeah. The Dale Murphy era,
right? But the 90s obviously they were awesome.
They turned everything around. So yeah, I guess my first baseball memory was 1990. That Braves team when they were in last place. Then they go worst to first, as did the Minnesota Twins that year, and then they play each other in the World Series, which is kind of cool.
And the Twins cheated.
How'd they cheat?
Kent Herbeck.
Oh, Kent Herbeck. I thought you were going to talk about the umpiring as well.
I'm not familiar with the umpiring in that series.
They're just, like not calling it both ways.
Oh.
Different strike zones. But yeah, there was a strong element of Frank the Tank that ran through to the point where he would say, like, they're making up those stats that are on there because I've watched him play all year and he hasn't gotten a single hit.
Fred McGriff, notably in the Hall of Fame now, right?
That's right, yeah.
He was in like the
most recent
senior
one?
committee or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The crime dog.
I've said this for years, and I may have said it on this show. I don't recall. I mean, it's never been more true than it is right now. For all that people talk about Frank the Tank, he usually ends up being correct.
Yeah.
The Mets have lost 11 games in a row.
Yeah.
They may never win again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he said this at the time, but it did coincide with a visit from Comrade Mamdani. He showed up at the ballpark. They ain't won a game since.
That's true. He gave Mr. and Mrs. Met a hug.
Yeah, and they've lost 11 in a row. There's some times where I'll walk around in life and crazy stuff happens. We have an amazing opportunity, an amazing workplace and job where we get to do things that sometimes feel like we're in the middle of a simulation, where you get to meet people that like you never thought that you'd meet, et cetera, et cetera. But far more often, I walk around thinking I am in the middle of Frank the Tank simulation. Yeah.
Like I'm an NPC in Frank the Tank simulation when something happens that brings his entire worldview together in a manner so concise that it has to be the work of somebody behind the scenes programming it or writing a script. And when Mayor Zoran Mamdani showed up, gave Mr. and Mrs. Met a giant hug, and then the Mets proceed to go on a massive losing streak. At that point, you have to take your hat off and you have to say, Frank was right.
Well done.
Frank has dreamed this out and probably verbalized it in the past that this is going to happen. This is just a unique moment where it feels like we're all just living inside of his universe.
They're back home tonight for the Minnesota Twins. You think they can snap it?
No, I don't.
I would love, because at this point, so yesterday they lost. They were up 1-0 in the 9th inning, gave up a run in the 9th and a run in the 10th to lose. And so now from 11 on, every single night is must watch if they're in a game late in it.
Yep.
So I would love for this to get to like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
They have the Twins and Rockies. So, I mean, if you can't win one of those, man, at home.
And they're playing Pink Pony Club.
If someone who works at that ballpark has any sense of humor, they will play Pink Pony Club tonight.
I actually think the funniest possible outcome would be Mets lose and there's some sort of charity function that Mayor Mamdani is at tonight, and he comes out on stage to Pink Pony Club at the charity function right before or as the Mets lose.
That'd be incredible.
And then it kicks right over to SVP, and his head is spinning.
Oh, they're actually off today. They get so tomorrow, Tuesday, they start their series with the Twins. So they have an off day to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please play Pink Pony Club if you work at Citi Field. That would be unbelievable.
And one thing people don't realize, but Big T does the best Frank the Tank impression at the entire company. It's scary how perfect it is.
Yeah, it's honestly too good.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
And it's not
too hard.
really, I don't know if you can do it publicly. So it's, but it's pretty good.
The start, like the way that you kick into it is always good.
Yeah.
It's like that one, that noise.
The clap. You got to do the clap.
Well,
keep in mind.
Just do the grunt and the clap because that's the start of a random.
No.
Just the grunt and the clap.
I don't want to be on Frank and I have a nice working relationship. People forget in New York, maybe you don't know, in the New York office, I had the first desk that you would see when you came into the content side of the office from the front door. Mm-hmm. So in like 2022 was the year that the Mets were up like 11 games and blew it and the Braves won the division. So every morning after the Mets would lose and the Braves would win, Frank would come in right by me and just stop, and he would go into a tirade. Mm-hmm. And so I have a lot of personal experience. So at some point you develop just your brain remembers what it sounds like. And that's where that comes from. But I like Frank. I defend him more than anyone. He's never wrong. Mm-hmm. The Mets always lose. The Braves never lose, as he famously said. Yep. And he just people keep getting mad at him for it. I don't know. They hated Frank because he told them the truth.
He's right. Yeah. Sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah.
From one goat to another. I'm working on my T-Bob transitions. I feel like that was a good T-Bob transition. From one goat to another. Do you have any comments about Michael Jordan showing up at a NASCAR race and like being featured on Fox Sports again yesterday, when I think he is technically speaking, an NBA contributor for NBC. You remember that?
I do.
I was thinking about that.
They really sold that one.
How much money do you think they paid Michael Jordan for? Was it like
2 or 3 5-minute interviews with
I think it was one interview that was cut up.
Tarico, or
yeah,
was
Tarico.
it? Yeah.
It was like one interview that was cut up into a couple different 5-minute segments, right?
And they were done by November. Like the rest of the NBA season, you never saw him again. I'm going to guess, I don't know if it's public or not, they had to pay him $20 million.
Let's see. I'm just going to look up the press release.
Maybe 15.
For when they announced it. It was about a year ago they announced it. And let's see what they said it was going to include. They list all of his accolades. Let's see. I'm looking at this press release right now on NBCSports.com. Michael Jordan, 6-time NBA champion, will join NBC Sports coverage of the NBA as a special contributor. The announcement was made earlier today during NBC Universal's upfront presentation. I'm excited to see the NBA back on NBC. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they don't really announce any plans for him at all. So I guess they didn't lie about that. But this is a big splash during the upfronts.
Barkley makes $21 million a year. I have a hard time believing Michael Jordan would have agreed to do anything for less than Charles Barkley.
But he doesn't. That's the thing. It's like Charles Barkley shows up to work like every day.
I understand.
That's like his job.
Understand that. I'm not saying that that's the way it should be. I'm just telling you from the mindset of Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He's not showing up for less than that.
I could see that. I could see him like being competitive, but I guarantee that NBC did not pay him $21 million to do.
Are you sure about
that? To do one interview. I'm not sure about anything.
All right. I mean, they paid him a lot. So what's a lot to you? I think there was some sort of. I think they paid him a ton of money. He did this one thing, and they were like, "Okay, what are we going to do with you next?" And maybe nothing ever materialized. Maybe he said, like, I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. I don't know how it worked out, but they paid him a ton of money.
He definitely got, yeah. I can ask around. I can try to find out.
I mean, you would agree he for sure got 10.
For one interview?
Again, I don't think that was the plan.
Right. But I would imagine if they just got one interview, they'd probably try to get some of that money back.
You think they're going to Michael Jordan asking for cash back?
They might. If all that they got from him was like a 30-minute interview with Mike Tirico, if that's it, and they paid him $10 million for that.
Them's the breaks. I don't know.
I'm sure.
Why didn't you do more?
I'm sure that the contract had some deliverables written down, like what they expected for the money.
Okay, but if you were Michael Jordan and that were the case, would you not then deliver on that?
I don't know. We need to...
Like, are you giving up the money you signed up for? I find that difficult to
We got to
believe.
take a closer look. Got to take a closer look.
You know people in the biz.
I do, so I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask around, see what happened.
Yeah, find out.
Also, it's important to let you guys know about my good friends over at Shady Rays. I've got... You know what? I've had these red Shady Rays here, which I love. I mentioned last week I went out, I spent a lot of money, my own money, on Shady Rays. This is one of the pairs of sunglasses that I got right here. The tortoiseshell polarized. Look at these, Big T.
PFT, can you?
How
I need a contact at Shady Rays because I keep mine in my car, but then when I'm at home and I go out on a Saturday or something and I need them, but they're in the car and the car's all the way downstairs. If you could hook me up with somebody.
Well, see, I paid for these myself.
Is that what the story you're going with? How do I look?
I did. Those look awesome on you. They look great.
My great grandmother used to have glasses with this print on them.
Cool. Well, they look awesome on 40-year-old dudes too.
Love it.
You can go to shadyrays.com, Big T, and use code MACRO, and you get 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses.
Oh, wow. That's an even better deal than I was thinking.
I don't know how much of a contact you could get, but that's the best deal that they offer. And
wow.
I spent hundreds of dollars on Shady Rays. I think I bought 10 pairs of sunglasses. 8 to 10 pairs. I'll have to go back and look and see how many I got. Got 8 to 10 pairs of sunglasses loaded up for the summertime. And they have the best guarantee in the business. They've got the lost and broken protection. If you drop them in the ocean, they replace them. If you knock them off the dock, they replace them. If you sit on them, they replace those. And the crazy part is they're premium sunglasses. Polarized lenses that cut the glare hard, super clear optics, durable frames with solid hinges, clean classic styles. They look sharp without trying too hard at all. If you're outside on the water, in the sun, driving every day, you need shades that actually perform. Go to shadyrays.com, grab a pair, and get sunglasses with lost and broken protection. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com, use code MACRO. Get 40% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. ShadyRays.com, promo code MACRO. Get 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses with Shady Rays today. Great sunglasses, right?
Yeah, those are the pro polarized.
They're really good. I love every pair that I got. So anything else we want to get to today?
There was just one thing I meant to include it this morning, and I forgot. I just sent it to you a little while ago. Did you see Noah Lyles' wedding video?
I did see that. Yeah. So what's the reaction to that, Ben?
Not good. Ladies, y'all have seen this?
I saw like the first 10 seconds of it. Is it him being extremely underwhelmed?
Yeah. So they do what the kids love to do now, the first look, where your wife comes and taps you on the shoulder and you turn around and say how amazing she looks in her wedding dress. But he seemed not only unenthused, but like put off by the wedding dress. He says like, oh, I can't believe you went with such and such, a princess dress or something.
Oh, he got technical with it?
And she's like, oh, yeah, like, you know, and he just keeps... he's like, that train is really long. Like he's critiquing the dress.
Yeah.
May I watch real quick and report
Yeah,
back?
go for it.
So he's a strange guy. Noah Lyles. You might remember him from he's always making content.
World champion of what? His infamous quote.
World champion for who?
You don't remember this?
Who did he say that about?
When he was at the Olympics, he was critiquing how in American sports we say world champions. And he was like, world champion of what?
Oh, yeah. He did the thing where it's like baseball. You're not the world champion.
Yes.
Yeah. But when it comes to the Olympics, you are. And he's got dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression. He's been very open about that. But I've seen a lot of content against my will from Noah Lyles. I'll put it that way.
I think that's fair.
He's very fast.
I have watched
one of the fastest.
I have watched the clip.
It doesn't seem like he's super jazzed about the dress.
It's just like weird because he knows he's being recorded.
Yeah, like even if of all the times to
just
say
smile
that.
and hug
And
kiss.
just say that your wife looks beautiful?
Yeah.
I know the bar. I mean, like, I know it's hard to ask, but yeah, no, he goes in with a lot of, how are you going to dance in this? We're going to pin it up. He's asking a lot of questions right off the bat.
I would never do this this operation that they're doing, but I mean, there is only like one thing that you can't do, and it's that.
That's pretty much what he did. Yeah.
Like, it seems like such an easy knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
And
you look beautiful.
And he struck out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so. And then she
so
said,
lucky.
He doesn't say anything about how beautiful she looks or how excited she is. Then she goes, she basically folds into him and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous." He goes, "Why?"
Yeah, it's a really odd. And how did that video get out? Like, who put that out?
It seems to be like.
Surely not them.
It might be.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
It might have been the wedding.
Like the wedding
photographer.
company, yeah.
Yeah, weird deal. I don't know, but people were not happy.
I always say though, like, if that's how your husband reacts on the wedding day, like I'm sure that's not his first time saying something like that. Like you chose him. Like maybe that's just how he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make sweeping generalizations. It was just an interesting video.
It is an I'll put it this way: if that is how my husband reacted to me in that same situation, I'd be upset.
Yeah, you just want to see him excited.
Yeah, God
like
forbid.
Happy.
Yeah, God forbid.
And if nothing else, even if you hate the dress, whatever, you know you're being filmed.
Right.
I can't imagine having opinions so strong about the dress to begin with, but
You know what? Almost respect to him for not reacting at all in a positive way.
I mean, you know that was what he really thought. You
Yeah.
can't. He's not fake.
He's not fake.
You can't say that.
Because if he was going to fake it, he'd be like, "Oh my god," and it would be like you could tell that he was being an asshole, but like an authentic asshole about it.
Yeah, fair enough. We appreciate authenticity.
We do. All right. Well, hey, good episode of nano dosing today. I think we made some progress on the Top Gun 3 thing. Some major inroads on that. But we will be back on Thursday. Love you guys.
Goodbye.